Hi students, this is Mr. Leifer again. This is Solving Right Triangles assignment, question number 6. You'll notice I have my graphing calculator on here. Again, make sure you hit mode and you scroll down and you are in degree mode or all of your answers are going to be wrong. All right, we're going to solve this right triangle. I'm given 3 pieces of information, but I have to find 3 more. I need to find angle B, I need to find side little b and side little c. I'm going to start off with doing the easiest part, and that would be to find the angle. So looking at my graph, here's the reference angle they give me, 36 degrees. Okay, or excuse me, my diagram. And I'm going to find angle B right here. And I know that all triangles add up to 180 degrees. And since this is 90, that means these two right here have to add up to 90. So mathematically, if I say 90 minus 36, 90 minus 36, enter, then angle B should be 54 degrees. And I'll write that up here, 54 degrees. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is find the sides. And I'm going to stick with the reference angle they gave us. Even though 54 is just as good, I am going to stick with the 36 degrees for my reference angle the entire time. I will go ahead and label these sides. So from this reference angle, little a over here I would call the opposite. Little b from that reference angle is called the adjacent. And little c is always the hypotenuse. And we know that because it is across from the 90-degree angle. All right, we're going to go ahead and find little b first. So you'll notice I put the acronym SOHCAHTOA here. That stands for sine, cosine, tangent. And this is the acronym that's going to help us determine which one we need to use. So from my reference angle, I know the opposite right here. And I am looking for little b, which is the adjacent. And when I go down to my problem here, I notice opposite and adjacent. So the only one of the 3 acronyms that deals with opposite and adjacent is T for tangent. So when I write out my equation, I'm going to say the tangent of 36 degrees equals my opposite, which I know is 19, over my adjacent, which I do not know, and I'm looking for little b. I have to do some algebra here. I need to get b out of the denominator. And I do that by multiplying both sides by b. And then I would have b times the tangent of 36 degrees equals 19. And then last but not least, remember tangent of 36 is a decimal programmed into my calculator. I will go ahead and divide by the tangent of 36 degrees. Divide by the tangent of 36 degrees. And then b is by itself. b equals 19 divided by the tangent of 36 degrees. And I'll use my calculator to find the answer. 19 divided by the tangent of 36, and I'll go ahead and close my parentheses. There's my answer for little b. Okay, now we're going to do the same for my hypotenuse. Again, I'm using this reference angle A. I'm not changing that up. I'm also using the opposite 19 here. I do not want to use little b because that's a rounded number. And I'm looking for the hypotenuse. The only one of the acronyms that deals with opposite and hypotenuse is S for sine. So when I set up my equation this time, I'm going to go ahead and move my calculator out of the way. I would say the sine of 36 degrees equals my opposite over hypotenuse. My opposite I know is 19. My hypotenuse this time is little c. And you'll notice I have a very similar problem as I did last time. The only difference is over here I started with b and now I have c. And then last time I had tangent and this time I have sine, which makes a big difference mathematically. Get rid of some of that stuff. Bring that back. Okay. So mathematically, I'm going to do the same thing I did last time. I need to get c out of the denominator. I do that by multiplying by c. This will go away. I now have c times the sine of 36 degrees equals 19. And I will now divide by the sine of 36 degrees. Divide by the sine of 36 degrees. This goes away. What will go in my calculator is c equals 19 divided by the sine of 36 degrees. And I'll go ahead and type that in right now. 19 divided by the sine of 36 degrees, and I hit enter. Okay, I do have to round appropriately. So if I were to take this off here and move it up here, you do need to remember that when rounding, I'm going to round to the nearest hundredth. Okay, and you'll notice both those numbers, 26.15 does not round up, 32.32 also does not round up. Okay, so we can move this over here. I'm going to go to this screen and make sure I typed in my answers correctly. B is 26.15, looks good. C is 32.32, looks good. We already found the measure of angle B as 54. And then I'll come down here and check my answer, and looks good.